Would you exercise if you had the perfect body? It's one of those questions I ask all the time because I'm an exercise professional and a lot of people hate to exercise. And when I ask people, why do you think you need to exercise? The answer is never, well, very rarely, I want to be healthy, I want to have a stack of energy, I want to get rid of killer diseases out of my future, I want to avoid Alzheimer's and dementia, I want to have great self-esteem and self-confidence, I want to have healthy skin, hair and nails, I want to have strong bones, I want to have a healthy heart. Now, they're all the things that exercise does for us. Isn't that awesome? But very rarely do people say that. In fact, I've never heard, the very first time I've chatted to somebody, what would you like to do when you come to the gym? And I've managed gyms all over the world. The answer's always been either to lose weight or to burn body fat or to look better in the mirror. It's always been about how you look. So if that's really important to you, and so it should be, because if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, then how does that make you feel? And if you don't feel good, then what happens to the rest of your day? I always talk about that as a fun thing, but it's not fun. A fat day is not a fun thing. Interestingly though, just as a side note on fat days, if you've ever had one, so one day you look in the mirror and you think, I look pretty good, and the next day you look in the mirror and you think, I'm really fat. Technically, physiologically, we can't go from skinny to fat or thin to fat in a 24-hour period. It takes a bit longer than that to get fat. But in our brain, that happens on a regular basis. For a lot of people, that's a normal occurrence. I looked good yesterday, today I feel fat. Is that something we say to ourselves because it doesn't happen physically? But how do you feel when you're having a fat day? And it's always a bad day. If you've never had one, I'm glad. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. So how do you get your body into great shape? If you want to be lean, if you want to have muscles or you don't. Some women tell me, I definitely don't want to have any muscles, but I don't want to have any body fat, or I want to have a thin body. There's all sorts of things that people want when they look in the mirror. And whatever it is that you want, that's your decision, that's your opinion, and you can do whatever you want. Isn't that awesome? But if you want to get a result from exercise, so the reason you're exercising is to get the result that you want, wouldn't it be nice to get the result? Why would you exercise if you're not getting the result? Now, I always talk about 4 things related to everything related to exercise. But I always ask people these questions. Do you want to have a stack of energy? Reverse, do you want to have no energy? Do you want to perform at your best? Reverse, do you want to feel terrible all the time so you can't perform at your best? Do you want to look good in the mirror and love the way your body feels to touch? Or do you want to hate what you see in the mirror and feel when you touch your body you don't like how it feels? And if you do choose an exercise program, what results do you want to get? And do you want to get those results? Are you getting them at the moment? And if not, what do we need to do to make sure that you do get them? And it's really interesting because so many people exercise and they can't say yes to those things. They're not performing at their best. They don't have a stack of energy. They don't like what they see in the mirror. They're not getting the results that they want, but they keep exercising. Now, this is my long way of asking, how do you get the best results? And as a personal exercise coach, as a woman who's managed health clubs all over the world, I've done this my entire life. I started in the exercise profession, teaching classes when I was 13 years of age. I'm now a very old lady. It's the only thing I've studied my whole entire life. This is my very long way of saying, being fit and strong so that you can be lean and look good in the mirror is very simple. But it seems that we've been brainwashed, we've been taught to think a certain way. People keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's called insanity when you talk to psychologists and psychiatrists. So if you have been exercising and you're not getting the result that you want, then it's not working for you. There's a very blunt statement. Are you going to the gym on a regular basis but you're still fat or you still don't like what you see in the mirror? Then whatever you're doing isn't working. And then it might work. For some people, they go on a diet or an exercise program and it works for a short period of time. So they get into shape for their wedding or for their holiday or for a social event. They lose weight. I hate that expression because, side note, I don't want to lose weight. Muscles are heavy, bones are heavy, water's heavy, your heart and lungs are heavy. I don't want to lose weight off any of those. When I stand on the scales, it just tells me how much I weigh overall. Yes, do I want to be lean? Yes, do I want to have a stack of energy? Yes, do I want to perform at my best? And yes, do I want to love what I see in the mirror and love the way my body feels to touch? Yes. So how do you do that? And it's a very simple process. You've got to get fit and you've got to get strong. When you're strong, your muscles burn up a stack of energy. When you're strong, your muscles send a message back to your brain that you've got to remain strong for whatever comes up next time. So every time you overcome a weight, every time you lift something heavier than you're capable of, and it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a rock or a log or a child or a barbell or a dumbbell or a kettlebell, it doesn't matter. But every time you overcome something, your muscles send a message back to your brain to say, we need to be better for next time. So you get stronger and your brain gets stronger. And when you're strong, you have a faster metabolism. And when you've got a fast metabolism, you burn everything faster. All food, fat, carbohydrate, sugar, lollies, chocolate, meat, cereal, bread, doesn't matter. Everything gets burnt up faster when you're fit and when you're strong. Now, the beautiful thing about being fit, of course, is that you change everything. So when you're strong enough to get fit, so you've got to have strong muscles and bones so that you can push your body hard so that you can get fit. A fit body, everything changes. So base metabolic rate, how many calories your body needs at rest, goes up because you've got more muscle. So you just need more calories, more food to exist. Your metabolic rate goes up because obviously when you're fit, you're constantly putting your body under pressure. That requires more energy, which means the calories that you're burning at the moment goes up. So wouldn't you want to do that on a regular basis? Increase your metabolism. So if you put your body under pressure, your metabolism goes up, so you burn more calories, you can eat more food. I love food, that's why I'm talking about food. And food is obviously related to how much energy you put in is to determine where that sits. So you either burn it up or it sits on your backside. Then if I want to have a healthy, fit, strong, lean body and a healthy, fit, strong, lean brain, I have to force my body to do that. It doesn't happen by itself. Now, the beautiful thing about the human body, though, it adapts beautifully to everything we do to it. So if you put it under pressure, it gets stronger. If you put your heart and lungs under pressure, it gets stronger. So you get a faster base, or you burn more calories at rest, base metabolic rate. You get a faster metabolic rate. But the really key here is your respiratory quotient, or respiratory quotient, RQ. I don't hear this talked about very often, and I can't understand why, because it's a really important part of your metabolism. Respiratory quotient is where the calories are coming from at the moment. Now, a lot of people just want to burn calories. A lot of people want to burn fat calories. But ultimately, and this is, again, something I don't hear of very often in the exercise world, carbohydrates considered bad, yes, by most people. But we only store half a kilo. That's it. After it's burnt up, your body has to get it from somewhere else. Or you don't have any energy. You feel terrible. So that the carbohydrate that you use for energy, and obviously when you lift heavy and you get puffed, and they're the only two things you need to know. Get puffed to get fit, lift heavy to get strong. I'm going to say it again because it's that simple. Get puffed to get fit, lift heavy to get strong. And then everything in your body changes. Metabolic rate, base metabolic rate, respiratory quotient. But what happens with your respiratory quotient is where the calories are coming from when you exercise. You want that to be carbohydrate because that's the most efficient fuel source for your brain and for your muscles. Muscles run on glycogen, carbohydrate. Brain runs on glucose, carbohydrate. You feel so much better when you're running on carbohydrate when you're putting your body under pressure. But most people don't put their body under pressure very long throughout the day, and neither do I. I only do 10-second bursts throughout the day, which is pure carbohydrate. So the rest of the day I want to be burning fat fast. That's respiratory quotient. So exercise is not designed for it's not even designed for burning calories, and it's not designed for burning fat. Exercise, and I don't want to burn a large number of calories when I exercise, and I don't want to burn any fat when I'm exercising. And that's not just me, that's how the human body works. When you get really fit, you burn carbohydrate when you do high intense activity, which is 100% effort to get 100% result. When you lift really heavy at 100% effort to get 100% result, you don't burn any fat and you don't burn very many calories. You just burn carbohydrate. But you change your respiratory quotient, where the calories are coming from, so that the rest of the time during the day, you are a faster fat burner. Because your body says, if you're going to keep lifting heavy things, if you're going to keep getting puffed, I've got to conserve my half a kilo of carbohydrate, so I'm going to burn more fat when I'm resting. Now, I don't know if muscles and brain and bones all talk to each other, but that's just simple physiology. So the fitter and stronger you are, the more calories you will burn at rest because you've got a higher metabolic rate and base metabolic rate. When you are exercising, you want to be burning carbohydrate, energy source, pure, best for your brain, best for your muscles. And then for the rest of the time, you become a fast, fat burning machine. I'll say that again. You become a fast fat burning machine. So whether you're in the gym or whether you're lying on the couch or whether you are out walking or whether you are talking on the phone, it doesn't matter. If you're not exercising but you're fit and strong, and I'll share this, this is just so cool. The fit, strong people in your life burn calories faster than the unfit people in your life doing exactly the same thing, and they burn fat faster doing exactly the same thing. So a fit, strong person, when they're sitting on the couch watching television, is burning calories faster and burning fat faster than the unfit person. So all you've got to do is get fit, and all you've got to do is get strong. You can't get fit without getting strong. I'll say that again. If you want to push your body to 100% effort for 10 seconds, because that's all it is, that's the phosphate system, the fight and flight system, 100% effort to get 100% result is only 10 seconds. But to do that, you have to be strong. So to get strong, overload your muscles and bones for 10 seconds, do it safely so you don't get hurt. So I'll wrap all of that up because it's pretty simple. Get puffed to get fit, lift heavy to get strong, do it safely so you don't get hurt because you can't do anything if you're injured. And obviously it's going to be short so you can't get bored. Most people quit their exercise program because they're bored or they haven't got time. So there's no excuse. And this is where I'm going to be very harsh as an old lady because I've lived on the planet a really long time, and I listen to a lot of people whinge, moan and complain about their body, their life, their stress levels, how much time they don't have, and how sick and miserable and grumpy they are. And I'm sure you hear people say that all the time too. How are you? Oh, I'm stressed, I'm tired, I'm sick, I've got a runny nose, I've got the flu, all that stuff. Well, I just refuse to have all of that stuff, and I don't have to have it because I'm healthy, fit and strong. I get puffed and I lift heavy. So when somebody says to me, I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm stressed, I've got a disease, there's some horrible bad luck diseases, I get that. But I always ask this question, how fit are you and how strong are you? Because the worst bad luck disease, you'll be able to handle it better, you'll recover quicker, it's less likely to come back if you're fit and strong. So before we go to the doctor or the medicine cabinet or to the chemist or to the pharmaceutical companies or to the nutraceuticals or the pills, powders and potions and programs that cost a lot of money and try and mask what's really going on, which is I'm not very fit and I'm not very strong. So if you get really fit and you get really strong, wouldn't it be exciting that the rest of your life is pretty bloody awesome? If you want to live your life to the max, maybe whinge, moan and complain to someone else because nobody wants to listen, of course. But you don't need to whinge, moan and complain when you're happy, when you're healthy, when you're fit and when you're strong. And it's very simple. Get puffed to get fit, lift heavy to get strong, do it safe so you don't get injured, and make sure it's really, really short because 10 seconds is about as close to zero as you can get so that you don't get bored. If you want to, those 4 things, have a stack of energy, perform at your best, love what you see in the mirror, love the way your body feels to touch and get the results that you want. How about putting 100% effort to get 100% result and everything changes? Wouldn't that be awesome? Live your life to the max. Check out my gym. I love being in here because I'm only in here for 10 seconds at a time. Woohoo!